Yeah, Randy Kelsey, tonight a flag is flying next to the Burnsville Fire and Police Departments as these two departments grieve the loss of 3 of their colleagues. City leaders saying they're still trying to understand what happened and why.
We are all hurting. Our officers, our fire department, our families, all of our staff, our community. We're heartbroken.
Burnsville public safety leaders held back tears as they mourned the loss of 3 members of their community.
All right, folks, we've got a story out of Burnsville, Minnesota. 3 first responders were shot and killed when responding to a domestic violence dispute on a Sunday morning. The call that authorities got said that there was an armed man barricaded in his home with his wife and 7 children, so SWAT pulled up and surrounded the area. Officers attempted to negotiate with the suspect, known as Shannon Gooden, but at some point, Gooden started shooting at police from different points in the house. 2 officers were shot and killed, and another officer was injured, and the firefighter that was tending to that officer's injured was shot and killed. In the end, Shannon Gooden took himself out before police could get to him. I'm going to read a couple parts of an article. Sunday morning, a domestic abuse call in Burnsville turned into a deadly armed confrontation when a man shot and killed 2 Burnsville police officers and 1 firefighter paramedic. Officials with the Minnesota Bureau of Criminal Apprehension confirmed the suspect is also dead, but did not share any details about how he died. 5 Eyewitness News is working to learn more about the suspect. Law enforcement, including armored vehicles and SWAT units, swarmed the area of 33rd Avenue and East Burnsville Parkway early Sunday morning after a man barricaded himself inside of a home with family members just before 2 a.m. According to a news release from the city of Burnsville, the encounter escalated into exchange of gunfire, killing 3 first responders and injuring another. Burnsville Fire Chief B.J. Gungman added, "This is the toughest day that the city of Burnsville and our public safety families have ever experienced. My heart and prayers go out to the families who have lost a loved one in the line of duty today. This is a tragic day. We're all grieving and we're all trying to understand what happened and why. We've had an outpouring of support through the community, which we greatly appreciate, and at this time, we ask our community to support each other and help each other grieve." So this wasn't Gooden's first run-in with police. He was convicted of disorderly conduct in '04 and '05, and in '07 he was convicted of second-degree assault with a deadly weapon. These charges prohibited him from legally purchasing a firearm, and in 2020 he petitioned to have his rights to own a firearm restored. Plaintiff Shannon Gooden requests that the court restore his gun rights. The motion is made on the grounds that Mr. Gooden has been released from physical confinement and that there is good cause for the court to grant this motion. Furthermore, because of the age of the crime coupled with the fact that Mr. Gooden has clearly been rehabilitated, it is in the interest of the justice for the court to grant this motion. This motion is supported by the memorandum of points and authorities attached hereto and the affidavit submitted by Mr. Gooden, and upon any oral argument that the court may permit. Long story short, it was denied. The wife of Gooden, Noemi Torres, who is the mother of 3 of the children that were involved, was interviewed about the situation. The mother of 3 of the children who survived the deadly standoff in Burnsville is sharing what happened inside the house. In an interview with WCCO's Reg Chapman, Noemi Torres says her 12-year-old daughter was in the bedroom with Gooden the entire time. Torres has 3 children with Shannon Gooden. She says her daughter tried to escape the chaos by hiding in a bathtub. The girl says Gooden started shooting out the window and glass shards fell on her. Torres says Gooden then told their daughter that he loved her before he took himself out. His girlfriend's 14-year-old daughter was also in the room and called for help, saying he wasn't breathing. Torres says her 2 boys are deaf and hard of hearing. The 15-year-old was asleep and awoke to loud banging. Her 12-year-old boy was in the room next to his father. He says he heard loud noises and took 2 younger children into a closet where they got into the fetal position. All of the children escaped to safety after Gooden took care of himself. Torres says her 3 children are back with her now. She said it's unfortunate that 3 first responders died. She said that if any red flags pop up in custody battles, courts should look into them more. So yeah, it's a pretty sad story just all around. The 3 first responders that were killed were Officer Paul Elmstrand. He joined the police department in 2017 and worked as a community service officer. When he was promoted to officer in 2019, he was only 27 years old. Officer Matthew Rugg, he joined the police force in 2020. He was part of the crisis negotiations team and a physical evidence officer. He was also just 27 years old. Firefighter Adam Finseth, he became a firefighter and a paramedic in 2019. He was there to provide medical support to the SWAT officers on the scene. He was 40 years old. A memorial was set up in front of the Burnsville Police Department where flags are flying at half-staff in order to honor the first responders.
Last night, the community gathered to pray and comfort the police and fire departments. 2 law enforcement vehicles and a fire truck are parked out front of the Burnsville Police Department to honor the 3 men. John Lauritsen spent time there today as community members came by to say thank you.
The support here has been really incredible. We've seen people from across the state show up all day long. One woman we talked with drove from about an hour away just to leave flowers and pay her respects. We've seen families show up. We've seen people of all ages here. They're also leaving cards and balloons behind. Many of them are emotional, as you might imagine. Law enforcement officers from other departments are here to help Burnsville while their department grieves. Supporters are also dropping off food for law enforcement. A number of teachers and pastors have stopped by, educators who are trying to find the words for what happened.
So there's just one more thing I want to show because I think people like this deserved to be called out for the horrible things they say on the internet. This guy pretty much just says that he doesn't feel bad about the officers lost.
So my question to you is, are they withholding the identity of the person to protect them because they're white? Or is it a black person and this is just a one-off time that they're not incriminating the person? Also, is it wrong that I don't feel bad that the police were killed, but I do feel bad the firefighter was killed? Let me hear your thoughts in the comments below.
So yeah, pretty distasteful. My heart goes out to the first responders and their families. Stuff like this just makes me sad. Anyways, with that being said, let me know what you guys think in the comments. If you liked my coverage of this, do me a favor and press the like button. If you want to see more news from me in the future, go ahead and press the subscribe button as well. All right, till next time.